Hey everybody, welcome to another episode. Today, let's talk a little more about the Surface Duo. But before we get into it, I want to give a special thanks to Shane from Scaryifliteral. I'm going to shout this out again on Twitter, so everybody check out my Twitter. It should be in the description below. Without him, I would have not had much traction on my ramble about the Duo just a few days ago. Shane, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for giving me some recognition. It was great to get so much interaction and to talk about the Surface Duo. And from those comments, that's how this video came about. So again, thank you. And from those comments, I noticed a lot of people talking about me bringing up the single screen Duo. And from that, I was thinking, and really, I came up with the name, kind of. And instead of the Surface Uno, like everybody was calling it, I was thinking about something like the Surface Slate. We got the Neo coming later this year, which is going to be their Android foldable tablet. And rumors are we're going to be getting an upgraded version of this later this year. And with the upgrade, as I said before, and I'll mention it again here, I want to see an 888 or at least an 865, 8 gigs of RAM, and HDR display. The main reason I think the Slate is the real direction to go is obviously the 3:2 aspect ratio, which skipping between the OnePlus that I'm recording on right now and this takes a little time for me to get used to. But if you look at it this way, it's so much easier to use. And I've been getting a lot of attention at work with this. Luckily, I do still have it. They have it. Microsoft hasn't come to take it back from me, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I pretty much use this all day long at work, and then my OnePlus outside of that. And some of the main reasons are I didn't actually put my SIM card in this, and that's why I know some of the hiccups that I run into when I'm texting and have to keep fixing it. It's because I keep switching back and forth between two totally different aspect ratios. But I really, really enjoy this device, and that's why I want to see them come out with a Surface Slate with that 3:2 aspect ratio, an 865, preferably an 888, 8 gigs of LPDDR5, 128, preferably 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage, and a two-way camera with a larger sensor. I don't need a bunch of lenses on this. This is business design. I want to see this start being used. I imagine this device could be used a lot for real estate agents, traveling business people. People need to take pictures. This could also be used a lot by just door-to-door when door-to-door comes back. And inside of stores. I mean, I would love to have something like this at work in my hand. And basically, there's one really good camera on the other side, and then an okay camera on the front. Again, this is a prosumer device, and I just don't really see why it needs to be a great camera. Just one big, strong, good sensor, and focus on continuing to make your app better. But obviously, you can just download Open Camera or Gcam, which if Shane, you can tell me how you did that. I couldn't find a version of it. Maybe I just didn't look hard enough for the Gcam, because I do use the Gcam right now on my OnePlus. But again, 8 gigs of RAM, 3:2 aspect ratio, a little bit thinner than what this is folded. And then I want to see, if you'll notice, also what the in-screen fingerprint sensor. Let's open this up. You'll notice how big this bezel is. I want to see that get shrunk down a little bit. And like one of the commenters on the last video said, talking about the Passport from BlackBerry, and that's exactly what this would be, except it's being supported by Microsoft. And with Android 11, obviously the Duo 2021 should be a lot better, but I think they need to focus on that, and that for a consumer side of things, and make me sell that around $7.99, $8.99 range. I mean, they are putting their version of Android on this. They're putting all their apps in your face, so I don't see why they need to overcharge for it. I had the same issue with Apple and Google overcharging for their phones. They make more money off them using the app, so the apps on the phone. So they need to get the phones in more people's hands. So they need to make them a little more affordable from an entry-level standpoint. So with the Slate that I'm referencing here, that again I am totally coming up with on my own. This is just my opinion. on what I think they need to do with the next launch. Coming up with the Slate version, a little bit thinner, aspect ratio of 3:2, high resolution screen, HDR, keep the DCP, DCI-P3 100%, get HDR certification, so you just need to get a little bit brighter, and get that two-way camera, 8 gigs of RAM, LPDDR5, Snapdragon 888, and that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to ask for. I mean, obviously the pen functionality is great. The only other thing I guess I could really say is going passive with the pen, the same way that the Note series and rumors are on the S21. If you make this a little thicker on the Slate version and put a passive pen inside, that's going to be the way to go. I know that they want to sell more accessories, but again, we go back to their apps. They make money off of their apps. So if people are getting this using Office 365 or even using their apps in general, some type of subscription service to get these in people's hands and still make money on them and make sure these are fully usable. I mean, so many people see me walking around with this at work and, oh, can I see that? Hey, what phone is that? I mean, it's a lot. People don't know what this is. The marketing is terrible on it. People do not know what this is, and they need to hit the market running later this year with a Surface Slate-like device with one screen, 3:2 ratio, all the specs I just said, a pen, right? This more centered on the Slate, obviously, and make it around $799, market it well, and then come out with a Duo 2020, which I also would like a better aspect ratio on. I mean, a better bezel, but I know what they're doing with the thinness here. But reality is, again, this is a prosumer phone, so let's make this a little bit thicker, okay? And get the right stuff in here. Let's flip it around. I mean, the temp mode, everything's absolutely amazing. Let's open up a YouTube video here in Google. Open up a YouTube video. Gets you that. Let's open up. Let's make sure we're muted here. No, we are not. AMD's let down. Obviously, you see it. This is a tablet app, which is why I like this so much. And then, if I want, I'll bring this up in there. Oh, didn't do it there. Perfection doesn't exist, but we can try to get there. So we have all this going on here. Is this still going on, or is this from earlier? Oh, this is just the opening of it. It's over. I was going to say, how is that still going on that much later? All right, Surface Slate, everybody. Again, thanks to everybody that checked out the last video. Let's start. Let's interact in the bottom. Comment. Let me know what you're thinking about it. I also have a video coming. Probably I'll record right after this, talking about why I'm such an advocate of the Surface line in my line of work and how I teach people to make that their prioritized sale and what I expect to see from Microsoft Surface line and Pano Panay with their next line. All right. If you guys made it to the end, you're truly legendary, and we'll see you next time.